Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, so a massive shout out of thanks and appreciation to David Abendroth, lots of balls, Mitch Kennedy, Original D-Rose, Rod the Names Burley, Twad Wazzle, Jason Hornsby, Christoph Fournier, Flat Earth Travolta, JMals24, Unimento, M, Iron26, Endless, Flat Earth Sage, Goldie McKinnon, Retro Bill, More Books, Canna Bear, Bogey, Michael Kahn, John Kays, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Will Brax, Mel B Styles, Hairy Blade, Mobile Max 777, Rob W, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, The Real Gabster, Abraham Mohammed, Skeptic 936, Life is Short, Texas Mike, David Wayne Foster, and Dank. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Discord and Google so you can enjoy their dulcet tones while I set up for today's live show.
Should make you pause. Should make you pause.
Hooray! You know, Nathan, you're going to have to make up for being late by doing a 4-hour show. You know that, right?
If you say so.
Let's do McKeegan again. That'll fill up those 4 hours.
I'm sure.
The second half.
Are we recording?
Always.
Pre-show.
I kind of wanted to say it off recording, but I'll just say it on recording. I don't think we should. I think we should avoid this thing with Dell. Like we should not get into it, and just kind of keep it simple like that.
Why? Why should we?
It's just my suggestion.
Based on?
Well,
What's the
you
reason?
can look at the past. You can look at the past, right? When we got on with other people.
I
Not
don't know
doing
what
good
you're
for
talking
anybody.
about.
It's looking at the past. It's not doing good for anybody. It's not doing good for us. It's not going good for the other people on the other side. It hasn't done good for any of us. So, just
I don't see why going into a subject and going back and forth, even if just sort of critical, why that's bad. We do it with the anti-flat earthers all the time. It actually keeps things going. And Dell wants to do this, let him do it.
and
I don't
even with
see it
this
as a
thing with the
problem.
Dell, I actually think there's a misunderstanding because I kind of see what Dell is saying about some stuff, right? But maybe some other guys don't see it, and I'm not
No,
going to
but there
hold them
is a
accountable for not seeing
misunderstanding.
it.
There is a misunderstanding that he has been trying to point it out from the start. It just keeps on rolling. And I mean, I
Well-
literally said it on the recording of the FED show that he reviewed. So he should know. And
Well,
I
how do
talked
we know
about
it's
it
him
again on
and
my show today.
how do you know it's him and not us? Like, who determines that? That has the misunderstanding.
Well, you'd have to watch my show to understand why. Because then you'd know that there is no conceivable way to prove or disprove anything about the entire realm and what it's doing, as in accelerating or moving in a pendulum pattern, right? You can't prove it. That's fact. So it's never going to become a physics discussion. And Dell's just not content with that. He's just no, I want to know why. Why? And yeah, that's just whining. He'll go away eventually because you can never answer the question.
Well, answering the question and observing something is two different things, right? You can still observe something and wonder what it is, but doesn't necessarily. Does that make it wrong? Just asking.
Well, he's observing that things that fall in free fall don't, anything within it doesn't order itself immediately in accordance to relative density from a stationary vantage point. And that's his issue. And it just gets really messy from that point on. But I've addressed the mechanics of this, of what actually happens, why you can't really reach the 0 point, the neutral point, the density axis with just a fall. Doesn't work like that. As long as you don't get beyond that point, you're going to get stuck in the mess forever. And Dell seems to be stuck there. It's just not recognizing, like, yeah, you can't drop something and then have it perfectly neutral. Doesn't work. And in order to prove anything concerning, like, how does the density gradient order itself, you'd have to fall even very long. And you have to accelerate something very long to maintain that effect. It's kind of difficult because when you just throw things in air, they're going to reach a terminal velocity where they stop accelerating because of the air friction that's impeding that and is giving them a limit to their speed. So naturally, it's not going to happen. That's why you need a vomit comet with a very specific flight path in order to achieve the effect. Can't just throw something.
Well, anyways, I give my thoughts. I guess I'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, I talk about it regularly. I had a whole show about it today. It was great. Very lighthearted. So, and I don't mind Dell. I thought it was kind of funny, Dell reviewing the show.
I just heard about it. I just like skimmed through it to see which episode it was or whatever, and that's about it. I haven't listened to it.
It was the show from last Friday, the one where we were all bickering, especially Brian and me. And Nathan had set it to premiere on Monday, I think, or Sunday, and he must have watched that because there was a whole segment where we were basically complaining about Dell and things, and so he had to have his passionate response, and that's what it was. It was a lot of feelings.
Well, there are some fans of Dell from this side too, from like our side of the community. So that's something also to keep in mind.
I'm fine with it. I mean, Dell has a lot of following. He's a very popular guy, probably because of how he talks and his attitude and all that. And yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really mean anything much. It's just a little friend circle, like a pop community. It's not like he has all the flat earthers behind him or something out there. He just has a lot of people that like his streams.
Well, the most recent thing I've seen from him was just that the clip of him showing that water bottle drop, and I thought that was very interesting. And I did want to talk about it last time, but what I want to talk about involves Newton's third law. But I don't know what some of you guys think about that third law, refractive curvature. He doesn't agree with it, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Maybe one day we can discuss why that is. But I was kind of wondering what some other people thought of it, like Adam and QE.
Weren't all
And
Newton's laws invalid? Wasn't that just straight out?
that was another thing I was gonna ask. Are they invalid? All of them? Every single one?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know how many times I've said it over the years. Maybe, I don't know, over 500. Buses los
I will-
muchachos.
Nah, at least 50 times. Wouldn't
Is
say
Nathan
500.
out there? 1 second, we'll get back to your topic. Nathan,
Yes,
hey, how are you?
I'm all right.
We got Ball Busters on Saturday. I'm figuring about just doing an open panel, probably with a little bit Dave McKeegan and a little bit with a subject that Adam's kind of passionate about with the inertial frame and them appealing to Coriolis. So something
Yes,
like
do
that.
that,
Something
please.
in that vicinity. What say you, sir?
Yeah,
Excellent.
I like that. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah,
You
great.
may continue.
All right. Well, since I got you on here, I'm kind of curious. Like, what the? I didn't know about all the laws being invalidated. I was curious about that too. But you say all of them are invalidated.
Yeah.
And you say this is because of quantum mechanics, then, right?
Yeah, and eventually, but they were all dealt a death blow by Einstein. So we got to let's get in the right paradigm. See, if you're in the bald tard paradigm, then all of Newton's laws are debunked according to Einstein. He replaced all of it.
Right,
However,
talking about
okay.
astrophysics application, right? But how about the real world here in front of us?
That's what
however,
he's
Are
getting
all of his
connected.
laws debunked there too?
Did
yeah,
anybody else?
however, in our collective, like in reality, they're still debunked. Yeah, quantum mechanics dealt them a death blow.
Okay, so one side is Newton and the other side is quantum mechanics.
No, one side is Einstein, debunked them,
I
and
mean
the
Einstein.
Baltard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, you got it. And remember, funny, I just spoke about this. Newton's laws, which are debunked, are only valid in inertial reference frames. So this is a many-layered fairy tale.
Did you catch that?
Not really. I'm about to look up again what inertial russell frame is again.
It's
Oh man.
just relevant to ball-tards that think that they're not spinning, or that they are spinning, but there's no effect to observe, I should say, because they're describing a single reference frame. Whereas if you're going to appeal to Newton's laws, they're laws that are taking place in an inertial frame of reference. So if they're going to deny the two reference frames, you and your reference frames are ruined, is akin to saying you and your Newtonian laws are ruined. That's what he's saying.
Right, I got it, and I got it on screen too. Yeah, it's one that's not undergoing any acceleration. And guess what? We're under stationary, not going any acceleration reference frame, correct?
Right. So
Yeah.
you got two options once you establish that. Once you establish that, it's either accept that we are not moving to apply these laws, or accept that Earth would be turning underneath aeroplanes, shortening their flight times for these laws to apply.
So are you saying that Newton's laws are per default kind of Euclidean? They're from the perspective of a stationary plane.
Well, let me continue with my thought quickly. Since we are in inertial reference frame, then they could still apply. That's what you said, Q,
In
right?
what paradigm are you talking about?
Well, stationary Earth.
Oh,
right?
so you're in the reality paradigm. Okay, continue.
Right. And you said in that reference frame, Newton's laws do apply.
Yeah, in the ball tart. So now you got to switch paradigms again. You have to switch the paradigms again. Then quantum mechanics takes them to the woodshed.
What do you mean switch
See,
paradigms again?
See, this is a multi-layered. You have to be able to switch paradigms at the drop of a hat, because you're going to get a lot of people fucking confused if you don't, and make yourself look like a horse's ass. I'm just telling you, if you delve into this subject.
All right, but what if we like just completely exclude all the ballers and all their stuff, and we're just in the stationary inertial paradigm?
I can hear the wry smile on your face while you're talking. Can you hear mine?
Well, I'm trying to simplify it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to simplify.
Because if you got ADHD, it's just not going to work out well for you. I'm not saying you, just anyone, the royal you. Follow? So, an inertial reference frame is one which has a constant velocity. That velocity can also be zero. So just make sure you know what an inertial reference frame is. Okay?
Right, that fits in with the not accelerating.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay, I got
I
that.
didn't say
I wasn't aware.
I didn't say what it's not. I said what it is. That's the difference. But you're correct.
Okay, well, thanks for pointing that out. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah.
So it can be moving as long as it's not accelerating also, but I'm not at that. Okay, go on.
I'm done.
That's it. Hmm.
Nathan, you should have these shows later, man, because I woke up early. You know, I'm pretty awake right now. So I'm just saying.
I hope
Let's
the
hope he
show.
has it at all.
Well, me too. I
So-
hope the live show goes off without a hitch.
So, okay, if we
I'm
establish that,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to divert for a couple seconds to make sure Nathan's computer. How's it go? It's just I find it looking from the outside in a real clusterfuck.
What?
The computer issues
Yeah.
taking your spirit away.
Yeah, a little bit.
I could tell.
Oh, thanks for that.
You're welcome. I have some empathy. I got it. I just wanted you to know that I recognize that I could feel I could feel the disappointment and frustration in your voice.
That must have been universal because for the first time yesterday, I did not care that there was not a show for my reading. I felt for you yesterday, Nathan.
You what, Neil?
I didn't hear a word he said.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I said I felt for you yesterday. I felt your pain. Usually I'm upset because there's not a show. Hold on a minute.
I see. Usually you're just annoyed that there's no show. Yesterday you actually felt a little bit of sorrow for the many, many, many hours of torturous pain sat in front of this computer stress testing it, only for it to fail as soon as you go live.
Correct.
Put it into context, yesterday I did a 4-hour IDA test, followed up by all of the Intel XTU tests, one after the next. Passed all of them. So of course it's going to crash today. We'll see. Hopefully not.
All right, you got 3 minutes.
I was just about to go live, actually. Does it really matter?
All right, you got 0 minutes, righteous.
Yes. Welcome. Flat Earth Debate live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below the video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now we are joined by Arwin, QE, Righteous Force, 10th Man, Neil, refracted curvature, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Hello, hello. Good afternoon.
Morning.
1
Good
hour
morning.
late.
Hello,
Pastas
hello.
los muchachos.
Well, we seem to be streaming. We're actually live. Hopefully it won't just immediately cut off as it has the last two live shows. We shall see. Any evidence of a physical, geometric sphere edge, that's a horizon formerly known as Earth curvature?
My greeting or my pastas los muchachos was not rhetorical.
What was your question? You ruined
Captain,
the...
please continue.
I'm just asking for evidence of Earth curve. You're ruining the flow here, Kiwi.
Sorry.
Earth curve, anybody at all? A whole panel full in Discord.
I
We
don't have
haven't-
anything. I have not.
We haven't claimed the Earth curve since 2017.
There's a couple of them that are getting a bit confused. I mentioned this on yesterday's live show, but it got deleted because it immediately crashed. Which was to say that... I forgot who it was now. Hold on, I'll look it up. Mr. something Limey. The Triggered Limey. So, the Triggered Limey got in touch off the back of a... I think it was one of the Dave McKeegan videos. And was basically pointing out that you use tangent points on a globe. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, in the words of Mitchell from Australia, Black Swan, bitch. You haven't got any tangent point horizons. They all died in 2020. It's just taken people like the Triggered Limey about 3 years to actually figure it out. When they tell us it's refracted, oh no, we wouldn't expect to see a geometric horizon. Would you not? Why is Triggered Limey telling me that you're measuring tangents to it then? Oh, because he's thick. Because you're all thick. Because it's taken you 3 years to figure out that refracting the horizon means you've no longer got a tangent point. I mean, it's not like we've been taking the piss out of Roofy for literally 3 straight years, asking how his geometric horizon's been working out. But people on the fringes hear that, and it doesn't even compute. Doesn't even register that that's somehow an issue for them. You're like, try and pay a bit more attention to what's going on around you, ballers. Because the people who are taking the mick out of people like Ruhif, people like McToon, yeah? Those videos where I'm playing back-to-back, McToon saying there's a straight line to the edge of the horizon, Earth curve, or the edge of the globe is a straight line, followed by atmospheric refraction. Yeah, so what is it, no atmo day? Or have you not got a tangent? Yeah, well, neither are true. Both are paradoxical. You can't get a tangent point to measure the R to claim it's refracted. But yet they're still telling us that we've got a tangent point. No. Black Swan, bitch.
In all fairness, there's no Earth curve in Earth curve mathematics, so that might be the problem.
Could be. If you're going to utilise a differential calculator, then you're going to struggle to get Earth curve out of it.
Level differential calculator.
Say that again, Brian.
The level difference calculator.
New name.
Level difference calculator. Indeed. I'll just read out Triggered Limey's comment. So he says, as for the flat baseline, that's why we use tangents on the globe. Then account for dip. The fact that you still think we can't measure an angle on a curved surface. Yeah, curved surface won't give you an angle. Curved isn't two straight lines meeting at a vertex. Moreover, and more importantly, as for the flat baseline, yeah, you're going to need that to do navigation.
They need the horror line. Remember the horror line? That line on the flat Earth, on the ball Earth.
Exactly. When I cornered, what's his name? Bob the science guy. Where's your straight line to the horizon? What was his answer? After asking 16 times and making an appointment to come and tell me, I haven't got one. Yeah? So, let's get this absolutely clear just for the Triggered Limey, right? Bob made it absolutely clear he hasn't got a straight line to a tangent point. They don't exist anymore. They're all refracted. It's not no atmo day. So when dumbos that have taken 3.5 years to figure out that that's why we use tangents on the globe, you're going to get me calling you a little bitch and pointing out that you're too dumb to figure out the Black Swan after 3 years of telling us it's refracted. Oh, it's straight now, is it, Dumbo? Oh, what happened to the 3 years of telling us that the Black Swan rebuttal was refraction, you stupid idiot? Yeah, Triggered Limey, just as thick as Dave Twangles McKeegan, it seems. Tangent. What an idiot.
I was going to say the differential between eye level and sea level, where it appears to meet the sky. I don't think they really thought this through.